also one
another icon. Today we are talking to a man who has been a guru in the educational domain, but then he took upon himself to dive into movie making. So he's been making impact not only as a doctor, but also as a movie maker. He is a director, he's a producer, he's a D.O.P. Everything that you can think about. We are talking about Dr. Tabi Zama. Hey, Doc.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you.
Same here.
Yeah. So let's talk about the name doctor. The title. Is it just the title? Is it an academic title or doctor in medicine?
It's doctor from NBTP.
Yeah.
So that's what you call me doctor.
Yeah. So you studied in the university what?
So medicine.
Wow.
So it's medical doctor.
Okay. And then you dive into movie making.
Did I study medicine? I think all of them just took off together.
Wow. I think it's a whole triangle. You would work as an editor at CRTV.
Yeah, not at CRTV. My involvement with CRTV at some point in my life was that there's this show on in the morning, Hello.
Yeah.
Co-hosted by Dinesh Azika and Abeji Bonde many years ago. And there was a slot called Social Slot, which we had some short skits that we used to do. So at that time, I used to edit the short skits and we supplied to the job that was being aired on CRTV.
Oh, wow. So we guess that you've had a passion for movie making even at that time. Did you have another job that maybe took all your time and then you were like, okay, since I have passion for this thing, let me take out some time in?
Did I have a job at that time at school? So.
Wait, you went to an art school?
No, I had. Oh, what do you mean?
Okay, you say art school.
Yes, I was in art school, and I had other things.
Side hustles that you were doing. Yes.
At that time, we didn't do it for the money. It was just for the passion.
Yeah. Do you do it now for the money?
Innately, I think that real artists, not even artists. I think almost every walk of life, every serious person doesn't really do what they do primarily for money.
Yeah.
It's usually for impact.
Yeah. It's
and if you do something for impact, money will follow. That's what I believe anyway.
I agree with you. And then so would want to assume by what you're saying that you immediately have a passion for movie making and for anything that goes in front of the screen, but then you would pursue an educational career in something else. Explain. I want to know what happens and then.
Okay. First of all, education, like the people that are smart have to write the exams for smart people.
Yeah. And
that's how we end up in many places. But I think that, and also the orientation that we have in secondary school, that's what enables us to do what we do, especially when it comes to school. So I think I now have many options when I left high school after the bank. I now have many options. I wrote just one exam, and that was medical exam. For some reason, they asked me to write Polytech engineering school. It was of no interest to me. Those were the options I was faced with. So, and that's how I got into medical school.
Yeah.
With time, a passion for visual arts, not just cinema, visual arts, was anyway, that was innately born because I had some traits of visual arts history long before that. But with time, I got more exposed to things that could make me do things that would create an impact.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how all of this started. And right now, it has become something else.
Yeah. So I'll say time and experience fine-tuned your decision on what you wanted to focus on full time. So
yeah, something like that.
Okay. So when would be the debut into movies? When would you now say, okay, I'm an inclusive element when we talk about CFI, movie makers and stakeholders?
That's not the way I like to look at it. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Do you know Elon Musk?
Yes.
Okay. Elon Musk, do you know what he studied in school?
Not exactly.
Okay, his he studied engineering. I thought for engineering. I don't know if it's computer engineering or it's electrical engineering, one of them.
Mhm.
Right now, he runs Twitter, which
Yeah.
is called X, not Twitter any longer.
Okay.
That's a social media platform.
Yeah.
He also owns, I don't know if solely, SpaceX. I don't think he did aeronautical engineering. He also owns Tesla. He has had a passion for using clean energy and the rest, but I don't think that also he's an automobile expert, or he was. Those are things that he grew into. In that same way, I don't think that we are supposed to be defined by just one thing in our lives.
True.
I think that my core interest is making the world a better place.
Beautiful.
And in any way I can do it, any way that that God has gifted me to do it,
right.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's also another saying. There's a saying that people say wrongly. Have you ever heard of the statement, "Jack of all trades"?
Yeah.
Master of none.
Yeah.
Do you know that's incomplete? That's not the real saying.
Okay. What would be the real saying then?
It is said, the real thing that they say, you can Google it. Jack of all trades, master of none, but better than a master of one.
Oh, right. Wow, really? And that brings me to a question. I was actually going to ask you how you create a balance between the two.
How does Elon Musk create a balance between
Exactly.
Twitter? People can do it.
Well,
I've
given
given an example of a popular person that we know.
Yeah.
So creating the balance. The truth is, you're a human being. If you're a human being, sometimes many things need your attention at the same time. Some suffer, some don't. But we don't have the same capacity.
Yeah.
Some people can handle many things.
Yeah.
Some can handle just a few. Let me just take a simple example. On another part of my life, I do a lot of project management and program management. Sometimes you are running 4 projects at the same time.
Yeah.
So will you want to ask me the question, how do you manage 4 projects at the same time?
Well, then.
The answer is no.
Well,
especially when the projects are not even similar.
Yeah.
Let me just give a simple example. Running, at some point in my life, I was running a whole health area, through our health area.
Yeah.
I had to run a hospital administratively. I had to be a clinician, like a doctor that consults patients, and I had to run public health programs. These are 3 distinctively different things.
Okay.
So if we look at things like we can handle many things, it doesn't matter what direction they go.
Right.
It just depends on your capacity. So if you have the capacity of just handling one thing, don't think that everyone's like you.
Oh, beautiful. Well then, would you agree with me? Some people are gifted like that or have that capacity while others do not. And so these people will always question. There are people that can multitask. There are others that I just think they naturally are not born that way. Especially if you're dealing with 2 things from different fields. It amazes some people, I inclusive, that someone is a doctor in medicine and is into the arts. You understand? So I would always question how the person is creating a balance between the 2. Because it's not like you started medicine and you left it at a certain level. You are a doctor in it. So it means you are a guru when it comes to that. And then you are in the arts now, you're making a name too. So it's amazing how you are able to go so high in both. Yes. So that's why the question is raised. But then we are going to talk about how far you've gone when it comes to movie making. Before that, I want us to talk about you have a movie school.
That's something I had some time ago, which is not very active now, but it's coming back.
Right. What was the objective?
I initially said that my main goal is to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So I had this passion to train people on filmmaking.
Yeah.
That was sometime around 2011, 2012. That's because for the first time we had access to filmmaking equipment that could replicate the look of big budget productions.
Right.
So some of us were gifted and had access to internet and the rest to learn many of these things. And in my own way to contribute to humanity, I thought of coming up with a way to empower younger people and people around me.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that's how it came up. I ran that with a couple of trainings for 2 years ish. Then I transformed it. I cooled down on giving on trainings, even though I continued training as an individual.
Yeah.
But I cooled down on that, and I did more of productions. Not really productions, but more of the a content creator.
Yeah.
Yes.
You went down to the real deal.
Yes. Yes.
Down the field. So we're expecting it back, the school.
Yes. Even though we come out with a different name, which I will not say now, but the same concept is coming up very soon, like in less than 2 weeks.
Oh wow, that's
very soon.
Yeah. So who is expected to enroll at your school?
Now we're mostly vulnerable people from the northern and the southwest region.
Okay.
Yes, I think that those are the people that need a lot more empowerment.
Yeah.
For especially people that have left the comfort of their family houses in north and south region, looking for a better avenue, as they say.
Yeah.
In Yaoundé, I think that can create a platform and opportunity for them to get better at the craft and make something of it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And another thing is going to be free.
Wow. Okay, so we're definitely going to leave a contact where you can reach out if you'd like to be a part of this beautiful opportunity. And before we go ahead, like we always remind you viewers, you can leave your comments if you have questions for Dr. Tabi Zama. If you want to get tips from the master himself, you know what to do. Just leave a comment and we'll make sure to relay your message to him. Then you have your answers live. So before we go ahead, you've mentioned you happen to find yourself in the field of filmmaking. Aside your school, I remember I was a part of the Yaoundé filmmakers, and you had a couple of projects, Born Again, that I'd like us to talk about. I would also like us to talk about there was also these, I think that was every Sunday, there was a time frame.
Yeah, I was just a lover of the initiative.
Yes.
I was not I didn't conceive it, but I was just a lover and promoter.
I'd like us to talk about that initiative. What do you think about it?
It was a good initiative. Like it was born from a good place.
Yeah.
Because that's it created a forum where we could watch our content.
Yeah.
Because many people don't have the opportunity to watch what we do. So we think that if we create something like that and people watch what we do, it may inspire them to consume more local content.
Yeah.
That was the whole
also came partly because you guys felt like Yaoundé was lagging behind when it came to movie making in Cameroon generally.
Personally, I didn't see it like a Yaoundé thing. I saw it like an initiative which you just need to start conceived with sustainability at the back of at the back of the minds of the initiators. I think so.
Right.
I think that's why it stopped. That's why it wasn't really so sustainable.
What would you have proposed?
It's not something that I can just propose now. I think it's something that we need to sit down, brainstorm, and think of how sustainable it can be. Maybe just put a few.
I think it also came to a level where maybe people took other people's reviews personal. Because a movie was screened and then people gave their reviews and the movie makers somewhere angry. How dare you say my film lacks this or that?
First of all, that could be a reason, but that reason just shows how immature people are. I'm saying that because
why not the bad ones?
Why not the bad ones? So I just think that's just a sign of immaturity.
Yeah.
Because I submitted 2 films that were projected and the negative and the positive all came at me, but I don't think I took it in a bad way.
I think that would even be a stepping stone towards attaining perfection when it comes to movie making in Cameroon. I think we should be open to criticism. I think that's something that's really lacking. Everyone wants to be praised, and sometimes you see a work and someone is saying, I'm submitting this for this category, and you're asking yourself, have you come to that point where maybe you see a film and they say, okay, we want to submit what the competition?
Do you watch Cameroon films?
Yes.
Do you really love them?
Not all.
Okay.
Somehow I'm glad about the improvements. I watch some and I'm like, oh.
Okay. I'm saying that because I watch a lot of movies. Like no, now I don't watch a lot.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot because of time issues. But I think I watch
quite a number of
them. Like 2 or 3 a week. I'm talking about movies in general.
Yeah.
So my question is this, which may hurt a lot of people, may hurt some people, but do you think that you can base all the entertainment that you get from movie making just by watching Cameroon films?
Of course not.
Just by watching Hollywood films?
Not at all.
I think I can.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How so?
I think I can base all my entertainment by just watching Indian films. Indians have a lot of films that I can watch every day, and all of them are not all will be exactly what I resonate with.
Yeah. So
the same thing happens if I'm watching Hollywood films. The same thing happens if I'm watching South Korean films, and recently
Cameroonian film.
South African. But I cannot guarantee that I can put Cameroonian films responsible for my movie watching entertainment.
Yes.
For 1 year.
Yes. Okay. You are talking from the level of an audience who is just interested in being entertained. Yes. But when I'm talking to you as a movie maker who has the interest of the industry at heart, you understand? Yes. I'm assessing it now from the level of someone who can give in something like a tip that can help in promoting the industry. And then there's been a lot of talk about people going into the industry without having adequate training. And for that reason, we are having substandard productions. You understand that? So that is where I'm coming from. I am not coming from the level of an audience who just wants to watch a movie and get entertained. And so when an audience watches and they don't like it, I don't like this film. But you as a filmmaker, it paints you from a different...
Does it hurt me? Not really.
Okay.
I think that movies are supposed to, and you don't do a business without knowing your target.
Yeah.
The kind of films that I watch.
Yes.
And I don't watch Z-Well. I'm sure you watch Z-Well. I just think a number of them. I'm not sure of what they are doing as far as the business. I'm saying that because problem I find in films is that we're not sure of the kind of films to make. Right. Let me explain. There's something in Nigeria we call Asaba films.
Exactly.
And really fast. In Cameroon, if you do such films, you're looked upon as a low-class filmmaker.
True.
But Asaba is arguably what made Nigeria what it is today.
Yes, that's true. But then, Doc, if I'm going to...
I'm not finished. I said that there are two sides to the story.
Okay.
So now the other people want to do movies we call high budget films. And what they call
Netflix standard.
Since we don't have a ready market for films in Cameroon, it means that the in quotes high budget films that we want to do, even though they're not really high budget, it's for the market. You should be able to come up with quality can compete internationally.
Exactly.
Do we have
that
content that can compete internationally?
I think we do, Doc. Don't you think so?
Let me prove to you that I'll just use figures. I'm not the one saying it. Today, I don't know what came to my mind. I wanted to check. I have not watched Therapy, the first Cameroon film on Netflix. Today, I just felt like
watching it.
Yes, it's no longer on Netflix. Broken, no longer on Netflix. Josh Sherman's Diary is still on Netflix. I believe that
That's news to me.
I believe that if Cameroon was competitive when it comes to quality, with time, the number of films on platforms like Netflix and the bigger platforms, the international platforms, will only increase. Will increase. I'm talking about numbers.
Yep.
You cannot take one film that is nice
and
say we are good. It doesn't take one film. Hollywood, Nollywood, Bollywood, it doesn't take one film.
True.
It takes many.
Yeah.
So saying this doesn't mean that I'm saying Shamaza is not nice or Broker is not nice or that. That's not what I'm saying. How many do we have?
Is there?
We have maybe 10 nice films that you can think of. Maybe just 10. Cameroon films that I've not watched many. I've watched like 50 maybe or more. How many can I boldly say in any audience that this is a nice film?
Quite a few.
I don't think I can name more than 10. Problem. So I think that instead of, while some people want to do the high budget films and target the international market, we have more. I believe that we could guarantee more sustainability if we focus on doing Asaba films more. What they call Asaba films more. The low budget films that you wake up one day, pick up your camera, just get some people in your neighborhood, and you produce a film for 100,000 francs. It's possible. I've seen people do it. 100,000 francs.
That's quite new.
I believe that if you have something that is acceptable.
Yep.
Because I've seen films that I've done for that kind of amount, and it's watchable. Is nicer than the average Asaba film. They spent 100,000, 200,000 francs.
Yeah.
I believe strongly that you can sell that film for more than 500,000 francs. And imagine if we produce 10 of such films every week. I believe that it can happen. If we do that, we'll have a more sustainable industry.
Yeah.
We'll have actors that could charge. Let me just give a hypothetical example. We could have actors that may charge even 3,000 francs for a scene, acting a scene in a film. They don't even know what film they're acting, and the rest just come and said they do their thing and they leave. If we have that kind of industry and it's booming, you realize that somebody that calls themselves an actor or actress in 1 month may act in 100 scenes. 100 scenes, and those 100 scenes may be spread across 10 different films that are done really fast. And that person will make like 300,000 francs a month. That is by far higher than the average civil servant in Cameroon, which are the people that seem to be, in quotes, doing well in Cameroon.
But then, Nollywood started a long time ago. Won't you think that Asaba films, like you call them, they gained a lot of grounds because at that time we didn't have too much diversity. There wasn't too much to pick from. Now, when we are talking about constructing CFI, we're not forgetting the fact that we're consuming movies from other countries, and so the standard now is raised. People's expectations are higher. Don't you think we've gone past the era where if we attack it from that angle, it will create any effect? Don't you think people are expecting Netflix standard now?
Okay. Speaking from a filmmaker point of view, I would differ with you, because as an audience, I will not watch an Asaba film. As an audience, that's not the kind of film I'll put and watch.
Exactly.
For example, a lot of people watch Z-World. That's what I watch. But I believe strongly that the masses, if you want to make money, you have to go sell something to the masses. And the masses, the people that have numbers, they don't want your next Netflix film.
They want something they can identify with.
They want something that's easy to understand, relatable. And, we want a film that bike riders, when they're tired, they just go to some place with a small TV and just have some fun for 30 minutes, 1 hour. They don't even need to watch the film to the end, to see the film to the end. You just see what they can see and they're happy and they move. I think that's what the masses want. When I'm talking about sustainability. Sustainability of the Cameroon industry, in my opinion, lies in the production of low budget films and creating a market for those. The bike person, the person that rides his bike and stops somewhere, I think the maximum that he can spend for that film is 100 francs maybe.
Yeah.
He's just passing.
Mhm.
But the people that claim to be doing Netflix standard films, Netflix standard films, that's what they say. But I believe that in the past 2 years, I've heard more than 20 producers producing films and calling them Netflix standard films. But only 4 Cameroon films are made to Netflix. Which means that more than 16 did not attain their goal.
Right.
So
they're setting unattainable goals.
Yes, so what are we talking about?
Oh, wow. A lot of people too, there have been opinions about the absence of local color, even in our local movies. So
local
color, yes. They think we've been colonized when it comes to the fact that we watch movies from outside. And so we forget to paint our own local color in movies that we make for ourselves.
I will beg to differ. I'm saying that because the real problem is that we are not making films for the local man. We have not been doing that. Let me give you a clear example of people that do things for the local man and they are popular. Richard, Karoko Peace, Auntie Felicia,
those are
Dorcas.
Just comedians.
Don't call them comedians. I don't want to call them comedians. They're actors.
Okay.
Oh, in French you say comedian. Comedian refers to everything. These are actors.
Though we want an example.
Don't do feature films like that.
Right.
Let me go to. There are many francophones that are popular today because of Canadian movies.
Yes, true.
I think that you have heard business production before.
Yeah.
People see it. The Cameroon films that we talk about, how many people see? How many of you have watched Fisherman's Diary? Not quite many.
Yeah.
Not quite many. When you really ask people, Cameroon, the masses, the people in Furawa and Womb, they don't have data. They don't have data to spend on watching these things online.
Someone mentioned we had a producer lately who said she had a problem of
church. My pastor has other pastor friends, and the total congregation, congregation that this movie will be presented to is like 1,000 people. So we know that with this pastor's influence, if you can squeeze out just 500 francs from each of these people, or let's say 1,000 francs from each of these people, that will generate 1 million francs.
Yes.
With that, and then maybe whoever facilitates that and the rest.
Even if it is not,
it is possible. I know some people will say that what kind of depending on your audience, the content. Let me give you an example again. And the rest. How do you shoot those things? With phones.
Yes, I understand that. But that's why I mentioned that is comedy. So I mean, it takes. I think it's tightly woven, even in terms of the plot, character.
Quick question. If what you see Auntie Felicia doing,
yes,
let's say that they get creative with the story, and we have an Auntie Felicia for 1 hour 30 minutes, 90 minutes. Will you call that a feature film or comedy?
A feature film, I guess.
And with that same quality that we know, I believe that you call it a feature film. So why don't you call what they do short films?
Okay.
We just give names to things.
Yeah,
we just give names to things. It's comedy, it's a skit. It's a short film.
Okay, sir.
So we were just looking for a way to make that thing that they do. We just need to make a longer version. And we do it a lot more often as Richard does his thing. If we do that same thing, Cameroon, people that call it Cameroon actors or Cameroon film industry become sustainable.
But then, girl,
it's not identically, but if we tap from that, and you use that as inspiration, I think
that answers the question I was going to ask, because I was going to say, if we focus on setting just them as the examples, what about people who are interested in genres that are not necessarily about making them laugh? I was talking about that because some people do enjoy stories that tackle more heightened subjects. How do you do that with this? And then don't you think that will contradict the fact that you spoke about passion before money? Because if you're making a movie and you're targeting that, okay, my pastor is going to do this, I'm going to have this so I can recover this amount of money, don't you think that might shift the person's focus more to recovering how much they spent rather than giving content that will be entertaining?
Okay, there are two things. We need to look at this thing from a business angle
Yeah.
and from a creative angle.
Right.
We have a producer and we have a director. The producer is the owner, is a business person.
Yeah.
The director is a passionate person. Is a person that I'm doing artwork, I'm trying to do angles, vanishing point, cameras. That's the person that cares about all that stuff. And how does it work? The owner of a film, the person that has a film is a producer. The person that thinks of business, thinks of money, thinks of how I'm going to sell this product. That's a business person. Then he meets a director. I want you to do this because this is who I'm selling it to. This is who I want to sell it to. Kill yourself with all that artist bullshit. That's their thing. So I think we're just misplacing priorities. The person that does that film, the person I'm referring to that does that film and has an audience of 1,000 people that will buy for 1,000 francs and make that money. That's a producer talking. That's a producer talking. Now, whoever does the film, yes, we'll get now somebody that can work within these rules and get creative.
Right.
Within this scope and get creative. That's basically what I'm talking about.
Right.
So it's not as if you are sacrificing one thing for. At some point, you have to choose one.
Yeah.
You have to choose one. But fundamentally, in the manner of work, it's not as if it's one or the other.
Yeah. Well, then, the reason why I raised that is because I think the industry, we are at a level where we're expecting on attracting the international market more. Or do you still think we are just at the level of entertaining just Cameroonians? I think a lot of people now are focused on how can we get international, not necessarily about how can our own consume our products.
Okay. How many Cameroon films have had an international deal? An international distribution deal? I don't know the number, but I think I'm sure there's not a lot.
Yeah.
So, if while we are focusing, while we are trying to get the quality or get the network, get the know-how to conquer the international market, what are we doing locally? Because I think that we already have a market here which we are not exploiting, and it's cheaper to conquer a local market.
Yeah.
Because it's a place that you know.
Yeah.
I know my village people. My village people don't like me, but I know my village people. I know the people around me.
Yeah.
I think that I'll spend less. It's less risky. The risk is less, and all of that to conquer a local market and try an international market. So, in as much as you can, the people that have the courage to try international, let them go ahead. But I think that there's a lot of room.
Yeah.
For targeting a local market or other niche markets. Niche markets like I spoke of church group.
Yeah.
Just churches. Just look at churches in Yaoundé.
Yeah.
The amount of people that go to the number of churches around and a Christian movie. Pastor, I have a feeling that you're going to sell a lot more than many of the big films would talk about.
Right. Doctor initially mentioned about be able to build a platform for us to be qualified now to start contesting as an international.
I'm not saying that the people that are trying to get international recognition should stop.
Of course not.
Let them do what they are doing. I'm just saying that there's a lot of room for other people because there's a lie that people tell themselves right now in the industries. A lot of people think that low budget movies have no place.
Yeah.
I think that's a lie they tell themselves.
Yeah.
It has its place. I think that is the real foundation. That's the roots. That's the foundation on which the Cameroon film industry is supposed to stand on. Then we can venture into other things. You cannot talk about eating pizza when you cannot eat achu and fufu.
Exactly.
We need those things first of all to eat and be full. Then we can go and eat shawarma and other things, which are nice too. So I'll not stop people from making shawarma, but at the same time, I'll encourage them. I'll encourage us to cook our local food and eat and be full first before we go and eat shawarma and drink juice.
Nice. That will bring us back to Born Again.
Okay.
Yes. What was the inspiration behind Born Again?
There are two levels of inspiration. First, the story was inspired by
No, I wasn't talking about the story. I was talking about the production.
the project. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. It's in two steps because the story was thought of long ago.
Oh,
like
nice.
About 8 years ago.
Okay.
Or maybe even more.
That
the production. Actually, I decided to do the film when I was on a movie set. I was on the set of Half Heaven.
Yeah.
I was the production designer on the set. I thought of doing that film for many. I thought I was ready. I think during that production, I was ready to shoot a film, and I thought of these same things I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to sell the film? What exactly is the audience you are reaching out to? And based on the content of the film, that's how it came out with the title. Because the original story, that wasn't the title. It had a different title. But because of the niche, I thought that title was more marketable. And there's a possibility that I might change it before releasing, but it will be along those lines of, in fact, it's a Christian film. It's a fundamentally Christian film.
I see.
Yes, it has many secular things, but it's fundamentally a Christian film and has a particular market. If it has any international distribution deal, fine. But that's not what's spelled out in the production plan. So does that answer the question of?
Oh, that would be just one side of it.
What other side do you want?
You said it was two-sided.
No, I said the first part is that it was conceived long ago.
Yeah.
Then I decided to do it now because I saw an opportunity.
Yes, I speak about it because I think I was a part of the platform where you were mentioning about the movie. Yes. Did you have maybe a kind of impact that you wanted to create within the film community? You spoke about making a movie that's different.
Different. I think every movie is first of all different.
Yeah, so. I don't want to specify so that it doesn't feel like.
Okay. First of all, let me talk about that project a little more.
Yeah.
It was a story that I conceived many years ago. A lot of people don't know that. Then, when we came together in the film community,
thank you.
One day I thought that filmmakers, Anglophone, English-speaking filmmakers in Yaoundé could come together and do something.
Right.
I actually first proposed a short film that we did some time ago, The Samaritan, which we shot and released, and it was even nominated in some health awareness film festival in Tunisia.
Wow.
Sadly, we didn't win. But that was an initiative brought up just in that forum, executed. Let's take it a step further. And that's how I launched a little, I don't know, call it competition.
Yeah.
I asked people to send log lines. And I think like 12 log lines for people to vote their top 3 log lines. And without telling people, I had 2. I told people to vote.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, that were chosen, 2 were the ones I submitted.
Wow.
They randomly put. Nobody knows that I submitted those 2. Since I wanted to be a group project,
exactly.
I write the script.
Yeah.
I got 2 volunteers and they wrote the script.
I said it was different. I didn't want to talk about all of that.
The next step was funding.
Yeah.
Some people propose crowdfunding. Some people propose getting to certain people to fund the project and the rest. Anyway, I will not want to be self-righteous here. I don't know what went wrong.
Yeah.
But at some point, the funds were not coming in as a group any longer. there was some disunity happening at some point.
Yeah.
People started feeling left out at some point. So many things happened,
Or
and
people contributing, or maybe wanting to take the lead role, or wanting
not
to...
not really. Some people just started feeling like they don't belong here. Why can't they do their own thing? Even when we call for meetings, even we've had an audition, some people's thing and the rest. So I saw a project, and the writers already started work, and they work tirelessly day and night. It reached a point where I would say that the project failed as a group, tirelessly to take the project to a certain. I thought that it would die like this.
Exactly.
So in my own way, I sought for funds in other places.
And you picked it up.
And I picked it up, and the people that were interested and engaged, I told them that, you know what?
We were.
If as Yaoundé English filmmakers community, we cannot do this, 6 of us.
Let's do this as a team.
We'll do it as a team. We're just 6 of us, and the key people that call themselves Yaoundé Film, they're not here. So the Yaoundé English filmmaker community production.
Yeah.
So we had a different name for it.
Right.
We came up with the team and we did the movie in a different way. Because the first short film, but since it was a short film, it was not too difficult. We did it, just a few people, just like 3-4 of us.
Right.
Put our energy together, funded it, did the film, went out there. When I even shared the film in the group, the members of the group did not even share it. Did not feel like part of it. But it's bold when the short film starts. It's written, produced by Yaoundé filmmakers community. I just thought that this was doing too much. You're giving things to people that they don't want.
And I think this will be a microcosm of what's happening generally in the industry. Don't you think so?
Sort of. But again, you not blame them. I don't think that is people cannot follow air. People follow something. What do I mean by people follow something? I believe that when you want to come up with an initiative, start it. And as you're going at it, people will follow. People will follow.
And those that
don't
will stay.
think that you come up with an idea and then you come up with a team and they'll build the idea from the ground. You must have a captain of the ship.
Yeah.
So in that case, this same young film committee will have a part to play in this Born Again project before it's released.
Yeah. Okay.
By that time, they'll come in a different capacity. It has already gone to a certain level.
Okay.
They'll come in a different capacity. And now they'll see something that they can follow. But when it's still an idea, it's difficult to follow. True. It's difficult to grasp it.
Right.
So I think that it's not a bad thing.
That's very open.
I think that some of us, if we just need more, we just need leaders.
Yeah.
We need more leadership.
Exactly.
Leadership means that you take an initiative and you pull it through. You work alone.
Not necessarily about the governing body of the
you don't wait for people to gather 10 people and let's start this thing together. You start it and let them follow. That's what leadership is about. So I think that all of this is about leadership. We'll get better and better.
Yeah.
I'm learning too.
Yeah.
I'm learning leadership in other areas of aspects of my life. And I'm hoping that maybe the way that was handled wasn't handled ideally, but we just pray that we'll get better and better.
Yeah. So where's Born Again now?
Right now it's in post-production.
So we should be expecting it soon.
You should be expecting it soon,
wow.
Really soon, based on niche market.
Yeah.
It's not for your regular Netflix and whatever. If it gets to that, no problem. But that's not the. It will be available for everybody to see. At least let it may inspire somebody, may encourage somebody. Yeah, but it has a niche market, so we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. You also went ahead to direct. You directed Black Maria by.
Yes, that's produced by Candylaurice. Yes.
Yes, it's a very anticipated Would you think so? That's the only reason why people are anticipating it?
That's one of the reasons. I'm saying that because there are many films being done in Cameroon with Nigerian actors.
Yeah.
There are many films being done. Dear God, I think Planters Plantation just finished.
Yeah.
There are many. There are like 6 to 8 films around that period. I think Black Mirror was considered one of those films. And the people talking, they were not on set. They have not read the story. The people that call it a big film, I think what indicates that it's a big film is because
the presence of a Nigerian.
Of a foreign cast.
But then,
so if you can spend that much to bring in a foreign actor, then it should be a big film.
Oh, yes.
So I think it's on those.
What would you say as a director if you don't think it is? Right.
I think it's people that watch
that will tell
us
a great film or not.
But I think that we did a wonderful job. The way is exactly the way we planned. That's Murphy's Law. But I think that
you did quite well.
It's worth watching.
All right, guys. Before we talk to Doc again, I'd like to turn to Nick to see if there are any reactions yet.
Yes, there are a lot of reactions. There are a lot of people. I think that many people were tuning in from all over the place. There are people watching from Boya, people watching from Bamenda, people watching from our very own Yaoundé. And there's a question from Mungevera which asks, as a medical doctor and your role in the film industry, and if you have, how do you overcome them?
I will say that I've not had any conflict yet, any major conflict. The only little conflict, which is not really a conflict, it's important, is that some people are surprised that I do certain things.
Yeah.
For example, the people in all the hospitals I worked in cannot imagine that I do these kind of things. And the first question you asked me is, doctor, what kind of doctor are you? I think that's the question that a lot of people are wondering.
Exactly.
Whether Kingsley is just a name and the rest. So but if it's apart from that little conflict of ideas and impression, like, okay,
professional identity.
Who is this fellow?
Yeah.
That's not the only conflict that I really face, but conflict that hits me in the face and maybe I lose a job or something like that hasn't happened yet.
There's one comment from Solange Ojon. And she says, Solange Ojon, thank you very much. She says, in what ways do you believe your medical background enhances your storytelling as a filmmaker?
It's very I'll say this. There's something about being an artist.
Yeah.
First of all, I read a lot. So maybe this is just something I read. There's something I believe in. Everything that is beautiful is mathematical, can be calculated. Which means that beauty, art has a formula.
Yeah.
That's something that I think is true. That's why we have things like how do you call it, golden ratio and many of those kind of things. There are many concepts that are very mathematical when it comes to art. So how does being a medical doctor impact visual arts or storytelling and the rest?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Okay, first of all, I think that I really learned how to tell a story coherently in medical school.
Oh, wow.
When you consult a patient, there's something they say, maybe medical students or medical doctors understand. There's something they say, history of presenting complaint. Or you have to, when you're a student doctor, you have to write all of that down. You have to write what happened before the headache came. Which means that you start from, sometimes the patient will tell you, I kicked my toe 3 days ago, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. You, the person, the doctor or whoever writing, you're supposed to come up with a coherent story. You practice that over and over and over and over. So first of all, learning to write a coherent story. I practice that a lot in medical school.
Okay.
Another thing, being a medical doctor, unlike what a lot of people think, that's about hearing what people have to say, writing prescriptions. When you're in that consulting box, consultation box, you hear a lot of social problems. You hear more social problems than hard illnesses like malaria and the rest. You hear things like you see a 60-year-old man coming for, no, a 50-year-old man that's not menopausal coming for contraception. And she has to just, your party, so your party, worry me.
There should be some set rules. Like, for example, if you want to go into story writing, if you want to go into production, if you want to go generally into movie making, do you think there is something that someone has to, a level that someone has to attain? Do you think there should be set rules and maybe a institution that controls this so that people don't get up and then go into movie making? Or do you think that anybody can make a good movie?
You have asked too many questions there, and it's kind of confusing, but let me answer what I can answer.
Okay.
First of all, everybody has a story to tell. Some people just don't know how to tell it.
Yeah.
If people have studied how to tell stories, it's not that they have studied, they have many beautiful stories. They just know how to tell it better.
Okay.
So everybody has a story. Everybody can try to tell their story.
Yeah.
But there's always need for some training to tell the story in a better way. Because training, when people write books, it's from failed experiments. People have done it this way, it not work. I like this way better.
Yeah.
And we have harnessed that over years.
Yeah.
So that's what training is all about. If we go to school today, it's not because we cannot think of a lot of the things that teach us in school. But why do we need to make the mistakes and learn from them when we can just learn it? Because if you have to work just on your raw inspiration, you may need to write 90 scripts before you have one script that people are going to love to read or watch. Why do you have to make the mistakes over and over? Whereas you can just learn it, and by a second script is good enough for consumption.
Okay.
So that's the way I look at it. If you look at it along those lines, then you see a need for mentorship or training.
Yeah. Yes. In other words, we are answering the question that talent is not sufficient.
Yes, it needs to be harnessed. It needs to be put together.
Yeah.
Some hard work needs to be put to it.
Yeah. Okay. We've discussed a whole lot of things, but then, Doc, I would like you to tell a young movie maker out there who is interested in going as far as you have gone, or maybe even exceeding what you've done. What do you have for them? An aspiring movie maker.
Yes, I'll take this from something that somebody says. So I don't own these words. Write, shoot, edit, and repeat. Just do it. And learn as you go. Just start.
Before we go, Doc, you would agree with me that it's not easy to produce a movie, right?
It depends on the kind of movie you want to produce. What you call Netflix movie is not easy to produce. Right. But as I said, what Richard does is a short film.
Yeah. I mean, you've been a producer. I was thinking, is there something that you can give as a tip? Like, okay, if you want to go into this, you don't have the means, you don't know how to get started. You can do this, you can do that.
Start with what you have.
Okay.
And do a movie with the available means.
So if you have your phone, shoot with your phone.
Yeah, shoot with your phone. After you shoot 1-2 movies with your phone, it is really nice. Somebody will give you a better camera to shoot with.
Beautiful.
If you do something nice, somebody will give you something better and better. And that's how you evolve. That's how everybody evolves.
Yeah.
That's how everybody evolves. There's a famous quote by James Cameron that says that to be a director, you just pick up any camera and shoot something. Once you shoot something, once you direct anything, you are now a director.
Yeah.
You just need to get better and have better deals. That's all. Whatever you shoot with, I don't know, Technophone.
So that's been a whole package. When we're having a doctor, of course, we are having the terms, we're having the references from this big brain and that brain. I think it was really insightful. It was really deep. It was really, really interesting. Is there any other?
Yeah, there's another question, sir.
Okay, then you have to answer before we
From
leave. If
Errors
you don't mind.
Aesthetic, she's asking, how do you navigate the balance between artistic vision and the commercial viability in your projects?
How do you navigate the balance?
Between artistic vision and commercial viability.
Okay, artistic vision and commercial viability. Um, I think that you need to, in every endeavor, you try to inspire yourself from people ahead of you,
Yeah.
people that have made mistakes, people that have succeeded, and the rest. And the principle that I will use is that it depends on how you feel. Sometimes you just need to go with a gut feeling,
Yeah.
in anything you do. Initially, when you're still trying to be sustainable,
Yeah.
you think of commercial. I need to make something to sell. I need to be sustainable. I need to eat. I need to live off of this. There's a level which you attain that you can start trying things. You can start risking your whole career. Can you? When I say I like to get from ideas from people ahead of us, Kanye West, when he released the album Heartbreak 808, he said that album was nothing like what mainstream music did at that time. He wanted to do something that was innately what he felt like doing. He said it was a big risk and it was a commercial success. So sometimes you have a gut feeling, just do what you like. Just do it. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to follow the rules of the current trends.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have that feeling that let me do me. But that requires a big amount of courage. So until you can withstand a possible flop, unless you build that kind of courage, do not endeavor. That's all I can say. So when you're still trying to have your feet on the ground, try to do things that will create some sustainability. Then maybe when you get a little more comfortable, you can be, how do you call it, an authority in that domain. You impose what people are going to like and what people are going to consume.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the answer. And then we have another one here from Django Constance. She's asking, what role do you believe films play in the society, and how do you hope your work could contribute to that?
Films generally, I'll include all what you call comedy skits. They influence pop culture. Like you hear people saying, "Hey, all the things are from films I watch."
Yeah.
The way that people relate to things, the way people handle things, the way some people talk to their spouses and the rest. Many of these things are born from the things that we watch.
Another person would say it's the reverse, that the culture is influencing.
No, it's what we watch that influences.
Right.
It influences a lot of what how we behave.
Okay.
I'm talking about even our language.
Right.
The slangs we use, a lot of them is from films. So what's the question again? How does
what do you believe the role of film should be in society?
Yes,
and how
film is
work?
supposed to. Film is a tool to that can influence the society in positive or negative ways. So I think that our role as filmmakers is to make films that will impact the society positively. As you know, right now there's a whole LGBTQ agenda going on in the West. And that's why on platforms like Netflix, I don't think I watched 5 Netflix films without seeing a gay person. You see, so that is an agenda.
Yes.
Which they're using film to implement. Which means that any agenda you want to implement in a good way or an easy way for you to have that agenda implemented is through film. That's why I say film influences popular culture. So I think that's that.
And here we have Dan Eleanor Futula. Thanks for your message. She's asking out. She's saying, Is it saying or asking? She says, I would love to watch some of your movies you have shot
Yeah.
and
Okay.
been a part of. So where can she see them?
As we said earlier, we really don't have a lot of platforms yet, but just follow me on follow my Facebook page. There's a short film that will be released any moment from now. I'm not sure of the date, which you have the opportunity to watch.
We will definitely attach the link on
Yes.
Collywood TV page.
Yes. Once you see that one,
Yes.
then I think from the comment section,
Yeah.
we could have links to other things. The ones that are online and free and available.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you very much.
All
That's-
right.
And also, the person that wanted to watch films that I've been part of, I was not a producer, but Half Heaven has been showing on cinemas for a long time. So if you didn't go see it, too bad for you. And that's a very nice film.
Yeah.
All the best I watched from Cameroon.
But then, Doc, even before we go, do you think that cinema halls should be the only venue where people can watch films? Don't you think we should strive to have devise a mechanism where people are able to access these movies sitting in their rooms? Majority of the people that watch movies are introverts, I think. They don't like going out at all.
First of all, I think that the whole movie thing was born from stage plays.
Yeah, that's true.
That evolved,
Theater.
theater that evolved to when the Lumiere brothers, the people that did the first film, made a giant screen and Pokemon watch. That's how it evolved. And there's a whole experience attached to watching a film in a theater.
Yeah.
This whole experience, and that you cannot force people to go to a theater.
Yes.
But I think that there's a vibe to it, which people love. So, but at the same time, if they want to watch in their phones, and I don't think that we have data in Cameroon, enough data to watch films on our phones. I have data to watch on my phone, but
Yes.
I mean, not the regular Cameroonian
has
data to watch 1 hour 30 minutes film on their phones. So, now I'll say something that is a little tricky. If at the policy level in Cameroon culture, at the policy level for audiovisual and all of that, we have some rule that could push all our cable channels to show a lot of local content. Maybe Cameroons have access to local content. Maybe.
Or maybe we could have the advent of a network that focuses just on promoting.
I don't like that word promoting, because promoting,
or showcasing
as an audience, I want to go and see what I like. I'm not going to see a film because I want to promote you. I don't know you. I don't like you.
No, we're about to go, but then I'm setting. Imagine, for example, if you're watching African Magic.
Yes.
There are a lot of films that have been.
I watching those films because I want to promote them.
No. I'm not talking about me, but I think that was a tool they used to promote Nigerian cinema.
They're not used to promote it. There was a businessman that came up with the channel and wanted to make money and showed films, and people liked it and they watched.
You don't think he had passion to promote?
No, it's not about promoting. It's about business. I'm trying to make money, and I'll put content that people love to watch.
Okay.
People like to go see. That is it.
All right. That was all we had in stuff.
There's one last question.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. There's someone here who is asking that they saw a poster of a movie called D.O.P from TGIM Studios. I'm just wondering what that is all about and when they'll be seeing it. Okay,
when I said there will be a film on my Facebook page very soon, it's D.O.P.
Oh, nice.
It's a short film about actually I didn't direct it. I didn't co-produced it, and I did many other things. I did many things in the film. It's a short film about, there are two versions. There's a 40 minutes version and it's a 9 minutes version. I don't know which one will be released. That will depend on the team, what they decide.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting short film that was well done. It's my current reference film. Like if I want to show something I'm proud of. That's the movie I've been part of that I'm really proud of right now.
All right. So you guys anticipate. All right. That was the legendary Dr. Tabi Zama. And I hope that you did have fun back at home just like we did here. We'll see you again next Sunday on another episode of Iconic Moments with Melvis Touch. From me and the entire Collywood team. So bye for now.